Right now, there are almost 2 million seniors who are going to be losing their Medicare Advantage plans. And there are many others who simply want to drop their Medicare Advantage coverage for the coming year. So today I'm breaking down what to do if this sounds like you, what your options are, and what's the best way to go about making a change, because I see people make a lot of mistakes here. So stay tuned. If you are one of the millions of people whose Medicare Advantage plan is not being renewed next year, then you may be left wondering, what do I do? Is this bad news? Is this good news? So this article from CNN Health states that this year, 1.8 million Medicare Advantage members, or about 8%, are enrolled in plans that will not be renewing for 2025. They will have to actively select new plans, or else they'll be placed on traditional Medicare effective January 1st. Now, Advantage plans can change annually, and plans can get terminated and non-renew from year to year. So this isn't new, but the amount of people being affected right now is a lot larger. In comparison, this happened to about 1% of Medicare Advantage beneficiaries for 2024. Aetna and Humana are most aggressive in trimming their offerings, with about 10% of their Medicare Advantage population affected. So if you are one of these people, what are your options? If your Advantage plan is being terminated and you do nothing, you will be placed back on traditional Medicare Parts A and B. Now, this doesn't include Part D prescription drug coverage, and it also doesn't include any supplemental coverage for the 20% that Medicare doesn't pay. So if you are one of these folks that rarely shops their plan, just kind of sits back and lets it roll over from year to year, which is what most seniors do really, this is not the year to do that. Option one is for you to get a new Medicare Advantage plan. In most areas, there will still be plenty of other Medicare Advantage plans for you to choose from, and likely there will be several other Medicare Advantage plans with your current Medicare Advantage insurance company if you want to stay with them. But you will need to actively re-enroll in a new Advantage plan if you are on one of these non-renewing plans. So if you are on one of these non-renewing Medicare Advantage plans, then you actually have passed the December 7th deadline to enroll in a new Medicare plan. Now, for coverage starting January 1st, I would personally just enroll in a new plan by December 7th to make things easier, but just know that you aren't tied to that December 7th deadline. This is a great opportunity for you to shop various Medicare Advantage plans and make sure that you are on the best coverage to meet your needs. You'll really want to look at things like doctor networks, prescription drug costs for your specific medications, as well as things like the plan's out-of-pocket maximum. Now, I have a tool on my website, which I will also link in the video description below, that allows you to filter Medicare Advantage plans based on which plans your doctor is and isn't in network with. And you can also filter for things like which plans offer a Part B give back benefit. So it's a really handy tool for you to check out if you're shopping Medicare Advantage options. Now, your second option is to revert back to traditional Medicare. You see, when you have a Medicare Advantage plan, it essentially replaces your traditional Medicare benefits, even though you're still enrolled in the government Medicare program. And for some people, they will want to take this opportunity to go back to traditional Medicare and possibly add on a Medicare supplement, also known as a Medigap plan, to go with it. So like I mentioned before, traditional Medicare doesn't cover everything at 100%. You have deductibles and coinsurance, and on average, it pays about 80%, and you're responsible for the other 20%. So most people on traditional Medicare will want some type of supplemental coverage to help cap their out-of-pocket exposure. Now, Medicare supplement plans generally cover that 20% that Medicare doesn't. So for most seniors on Medicare, this will be the most comprehensive medical coverage. Also, these plans have no networks, no referrals needed, and because traditional Medicare is your primary insurance, there is little to no need for prior authorization, which is a big issue for some people on Medicare Advantage. But there are a few important things to know. So Medicare Supplement or Medigap plans, those two words mean the same thing. These plans come with an additional monthly premium. Now, in most parts of the country, you'll pay at least $100 to $200 a month for a Medicare Supplement plan, and that's on top of your Part B premium. So if you're on a fixed income and you're used to paying $0 a month for your Medicare Advantage plan, you really want to factor this into your monthly budget to help determine if this would be a good fit for you. Also, Medicare Supplement plans are typically medically underwritten plans. In most states, you have to pass through medical underwriting in order to get approved for a Medicare Supplement insurance plan. This means that the insurance company can ask you a series of health questions on your application. They look at your health history, and then they decide whether or not you are approved or denied coverage. Now, everyone gets one opportunity to buy a Medicare Supplement plan without any medical underwriting, without any health questions, and that is when you are brand new to Medicare. So you have up to 6 months from your Medicare Part B start date in order to choose any Medicare Supplement plan that you want. You won't be asked any health questions, and the policy will be automatically approved. This is called your Medicare Supplement open enrollment period, and it's not an annual open enrollment period. It just happens one time for most people. Outside of that one-time enrollment period, you likely will have to pass through medical underwriting if you want to buy a new Medicare Supplement plan or change from one Medicare Supplement plan to another. There are some states that have different rules, and I've linked a video below that goes over state-specific rules about Medicare Supplement open enrollment periods. But what many people don't realize is that if you are enrolled in a Medicare Advantage plan that is non-renewing, that's being terminated, then you actually have a guaranteed issue right to purchase certain Medicare Supplement plans without any medical underwriting, without any health questions. No matter how long you've been on Medicare, if your Advantage plan is terminating, then you have up to 63 days from when that plan ends to enroll in certain Medigap plans using that guaranteed issue right. So if this is happening to you, then what plans can you get? Well, that is going to depend on when you turn to 65 or when you were first eligible for Medicare. Now, if you are a newly eligible Medicare beneficiary, that means you turned 65 or you were enrolled in Medicare in the year 2020 or later, then you can get Medigap plans A, B, D, G, K, and L using your guaranteed issue right, and G will be by far the most popular. If you want Plan N, which is another popular Medicare Supplement plan, then you would have to pass through medical underwriting to get that plan. If you're no longer new to Medicare, that is not a guaranteed issue right eligible plan. Now, if you're not a newly eligible Medicare beneficiary, that means that you were turning 65 or enrolled in Medicare prior to the year 2020, then you can get plans A, B, C, F, K, and L as your guaranteed issue right plans in this situation, with F being by far the most popular. So a non-newly eligible Medicare beneficiary would generally have to pass through medical underwriting if they want to get Plan G or Plan N in this situation. If you're in generally good health, I recommend considering a medically underwritten Medicare Supplement plan if you're in this situation. The reason being that these plans, like Plan N, generally have lower rate increases over your lifetime. Since many people that enroll in this plan do have to go through medical underwriting, so you're generally seeing a healthier pool of folks enrolled in a more commonly medically underwritten plan like Plan N. So the insurance company is saving money when they don't have to pay out a bunch of claims for folks on this plan, and in turn, they tend to pass those savings on to you in the form of lower premium rate increases over time. If you're coming off of a Medicare Advantage plan and considering a Medicare Supplement plan for the coming year, I definitely recommend talking to an independent Medicare insurance broker. Now, whether you work with me and my team here in my office, we're licensed in 46 states and would be happy to help, or you find another great independent broker. Talking to someone who's very knowledgeable about these different plans and the different insurance companies that offer them is hugely beneficial to you. Because like I mentioned before, in most states, once you're on a Medicare supplement plan, you may or may not be able to change it. Medical underwriting may apply. So you really want to go with a plan that is going to be the best bet for you long term. And different insurance companies have different prices for the same plan. Different insurance companies will raise your rates, some higher than others, for the same plan. So it's very important to talk to someone who's really knowledgeable in this space. And of course, that's what we do here in my office, so we would be happy to help. Now, if you're not in great health and you do want to take advantage of this guaranteed issue right to purchase a Medicare supplement plan, if your Medicare Advantage plan is terminating, then you'll definitely want to save your Medicare Advantage termination notice. You will generally need that when you're applying for your new Medicare supplement plan to prove to them that you have that guaranteed issue right situation so that they can approve your application without any medical underwriting. And if you decide you want to apply for a medically underwritten Medigap plan, then just be prepared to answer a series of yes or no questions about your health and disclose your medications. In general, they're going to be looking for things like recent cancer diagnosis, recent heart attack, stroke, if you have COPD or you need to use oxygen, if you have diabetes with complications, things like neuropathy, or if you have any upcoming pending tests or treatments or surgeries that haven't been performed yet. Those would be the types of things that would decline you generally in medical underwriting. Now, from there, if you're applying for an underwritten plan, then you wait and see if the insurance company approves your policy. Now, how quick you'll get your decision is dependent on several different factors. Some insurance companies will immediately either approve or decline you, and for other insurance companies, it could take days or even a couple weeks if they're backed up. Now, when and only when you are approved for your Medicare supplement plan would you then go to the next step, which is applying for a standalone Part D prescription drug plan. Medigap plans do not cover prescription drugs. They do not include Part D. So most people will need to enroll in a standalone Part D prescription drug plan to cover their medications. And even if you don't take any medications, you'll likely want to enroll in a drug plan anyway, because there is a Part D penalty that could be applied to you later on for every month that you've gone without creditable Part D prescription drug coverage. I've included a video below that shows you the very best way to find and enroll in a Part D prescription drug plan based on the medications you're taking. So the cheapest plan isn't always the best when it comes to Part D, and the most expensive plan isn't the best either. It really depends on your specific medications. So if you're wanting to enroll in a Part D drug plan for this year, I definitely recommend checking that out. Enrolling in a Part D drug plan will automatically cancel out your Medicare Advantage coverage effective January 1st. So it's important to do this by December 7th, especially if you are on a Medicare Advantage plan that isn't terminating, you're just wanting to get off of it for 2025. It's important to enroll in that Part D drug plan by the December 7th deadline. Again, if your Advantage plan isn't ending, you're just wanting to leave your Medicare Advantage plan for the coming year, then I would definitely recommend waiting until you get that approval from the Medicare supplement insurance company before you go ahead and enroll in the Part D drug plan, since enrolling in a Part D drug plan will automatically cancel out your Medicare Advantage coverage. Now, if you're not sure which way to go, Medicare Advantage plan versus Medicare supplement plan, there are a lot of important things that you'll want to consider. Now, I've made various videos about this topic. I've linked some in the description below, but you'll really want to weigh your costs versus your benefit and your personal situation before determining which is going to be the best plan for you. I do not think there is a one-size-fits-all best coverage for everyone. The best plan for you is going to depend on your budget, your health history, and other factors. So watching videos like this is a great step. You want to do your research before you decide which plan is the best for you. And of course, you can call into our office. This is what we do. We would be more than happy to help. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave any questions or comments you have for me in the comment section below. I love hearing what you have to say. Thanks again, and we'll see you soon.